Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for Tech Tuesday today. Today, I'm just going to quickly go over a couple things about the social media site Pinterest and just some different things that you can do with your listings and to just get out information about the area where you work in and your listings, etc. On the very popular social media site. So the first thing I'm going to walk you through today is just how to create an account if you don't have one. You're simply just going to go to www.pinterest.com, and it's going to have you either connect or continue with Facebook, which is going to pull your information from Facebook. Because I'm going to create a business page today, I'm going to actually go the second route where I put in my email address and create a password to sign up for the site. And that way I can link through and create a business page for Pinterest, which is a fairly new thing that they have out there. So I'm going to put in the email address that I want to use. And then I'm going to create a password. And just click the sign up button. Okay, from here it's going to ask me my first and last name, my age, and then my gender. And this is for creating a personal page. So because I'm creating a business page, I just have to click the continue as a business button, and it's going to allow me to create a business page under here. So I'm just going to click this continue as a business button. And then it's going to give you options for putting in your email address, your password, your business name, the type of business. You're going to just select from the list. There's just a couple different things under there. So it's a pretty broad category that you're looking for. And then your website is optional, and it does give you also information about connecting or verifying your website on here once you put it in. So the next step is just to click the create account button, and it'll take you through to creating a button or a profile picture for yourself as well. So I've actually already done this. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this and go into a different browser, and I'll continue on from that browser. Okay, so this is the Pinterest page that we already have set up for the GLER Association. So from here, this is what I'm looking at right here is the dashboard where I can pin things. If you've ever used Pinterest for personal use, it just kind of tracks your information about what you like to look at on there on the site, and it'll give you pins that are similar to that. So it's going to track that on this dashboard, and then I can also search for things easily up here. So I can do that to find things to pin for my clients and for the general public to look at. So I'm just going to click over here first on Greater Lakes Association of Realtors. And this is going to bring up the dashboard for things that I've pinned. So there's things called boards, and those are just, if you think of them as topic areas, I can have different topic areas for different things. So these are just a couple of ideas. I have just the lakes area here. So this is just general information about the area based on pins that other businesses and individuals have done. I have one for gardening. I have for the home. This is just different information about gadgets and gizmos and different remodeling projects that you can do in your home. Home stats, this is a lot of this is information about either our local market or information that the National Association has pinned. Real estate news with a lot of National Association of Realtor information in it. Home improvements, GLER news and events, and then I'm also going to create a board that's called My Listings, and this is the one where you can pin different things to your board for your listings. So I'm going to call this My Listings, and description, home listings within the area. So you could have in your description whatever you want that to be, and then what kind. I believe it doesn't look like we have a real estate category, so I could do other. I could do products fit under that. Or you can pick whatever category you think fits best. There's also home decor under here. So I'm just going to put it under products for now. Map, this is just mapping the pin, so wherever it was pinned, it'll, you know, create a map for it. And then there's things called secret boards, but because this is a business board, I want to make it public. Collaborators, excuse me. These are people that maybe you co-list with somebody quite a bit. You can actually give them access to this board, or if you have an assistant, to add pins to the board. Okay, once I have this on here, I'm just going to stick the word sample under here. I'm just going to click create, and it's going to create a board for me. And then what I can do is I can go ahead and add pins to the board. So one of the nicest things that Pinterest has quite recently added is a browser button for you. So there's a little button that says, if you hover over it at the top, it says pin it, and it's just a widget that you can use within your browser to pin different pages so that you don't have to actually go and search out that web address and pull it into there. So I would suggest, if you don't have that already, to click on this box to get the Pinterest browser button in there so that you can add pins. Okay? All right. I can also make a widget for the board. So if you have a website or if you want to share on Facebook information about your Pinterest board that people can go to look at your listings, you can certainly do that through these little dots over here. And then the edit board button is actually going to just bring us back into the spot where we were at previously. So if you have somebody that you want to be a collaborator on there, you can also add them in there at that time. Okay. All right. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to just hop into the MLS for a second to show you how to really quickly get a link for your listings, and then we will add it to the My Listings page. So if you haven't used the Share My Listings widget yet, it's actually under External Links in Northstar. So all I'm going to do to access that is I'm going to click on the Share My Listings widget. And this is just going to give me the opportunity to pull a full page description of my listing that I can post on Pinterest. And it's actually a link that's going to update for us as well. It's not working quite right here. Try that again. It's going to update for us as well. So if the price changes on this property, the price changes will pull through to the link. You can also link it to Realtor.com. I know just recently started using direct links or giving you direct links to your listings. So you can use that as well. You just have to make sure that you're complying with commerce rules as far as identifying yourself in the listing and whatnot. Okay, so I just clicked on the details button. It's right over here. There's going to be a details button for all of the listings that you have in the system. And then there's going to be a link right up here. Because I added this pin it button, I can just simply click on this button. And it's going to allow me to save the pin. So I have to choose from the different ones. So there's just a quick agent description here, or agent photo here, because that appears on the page. And then I also have a link to a photo that's on the page. It's kind of tricky in the effect that the photos are kind of flipping through here. So if you have a specific photo that you want to post on there, you can wait till that photo comes up and then click the pin it button. If you don't get the correct photo on the first try, there's just this little X that's going to be over on the right hand side. It can click the X and then try it again. So see if I can get to the main photo here. Let's do this one. And then I just click the pin it button. Oops. Well, didn't quite get the photo that I wanted to, but you can click the pin it button right up here. And then it's going to give you the availability to add it to a certain board. So I have the My Listings board here that I can just click the pin it button and it'll add it to. I do want to make sure that I edit it so that I'm including information about myself and identifying myself as a realtor. So I can just click in this box and change the text here. All right. I'm going to go through that one more time just so you can see it. I didn't click the pin it button because I don't have any listings in the system. So I'm just using this as an example. But you would just click that pin it button and it would add it to your Pinterest board at that point. Okay, so just really quickly, I created my board first, and then I went to the Share My Listings widget. I'm going to click on the Details button right here. And then I can either use this Pin It button up at the top to directly pin it without having to go to Pinterest. If I want to, I can click on this link here. You can always highlight it if it doesn't highlight it in blue already. And then I can use the keyboard shortcuts, Control-C, or I can right-click on the address and I can say copy. And then there is a little add button down here if I want to just add a direct link. And I can upload a pin or I can pin from a website. In this case, we have a web address, so I'm going to pin from a website. And then I can paste that in there. And again, it's advertising this Pinterest browser button because that does make it a lot easier, but you can do it this way as well. And then I'm going to click Next. And in this case, it's going to allow me to choose from all the different photos that are on the listing, so I can choose from one of those. And then it'll post it on there for me. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple other things with Pinterest as long as we're in here. So I'm just going to click on this pin button here, and that's going to take me back to my dashboard. And I have a couple other boards that I created under here. So the thing that you want to do is try to kind of bring value to your Pinterest. So if you share information about the area, if you share additional information about home stats, that type of thing, you can really pin anything that's not copyrighted by someone else to Pinterest. They do remove stuff that's not copyrighted to yourself, so just be aware of that. But if something is pinned on the system already, you can repin it and post it to your site so that people have extra information about the area. So I'm just going to do a quick search here, and then I'll also show you from different categories how we can pin things. So let's just do Brainerd Lakes area. Okay, so this is just going to give different information about the Brainerd Lakes area. So if there's something in the area that you want to highlight, maybe the history, maybe some touristy things you can do in the area, etc., you can pin those. And all we have to do to pin something is hover over that, and we can click pin it. And then we just have to click into the category for the board that we want to post that onto. So if I want to put this into Lakes area, I can do that. It does allow you to change the text under here. So if you want to kind of put additional text under here for this pin, you can do so. And then a lot of these pins also link out to different areas. So you want to make sure that you're clicking on it once, and that's going to make it bigger. And then if I click on it again, it's going to actually bring me to the website that this pin originated from. So it looks like this is from the Chicago Tribune. Okay, so you can double check that. If you want to make sure that you're just using local sites, so if you're using from the local newspaper or whatnot, you can just make sure you're clicking through these to get out to that site. Okay. All right. Okay, so these are the different keyword searches. You'll notice sometimes when you do a keyword search that it's going to bring up different subtitles in here that you can look at. And there's different things that you can look for too. So we have all pins that we're looking at here. Your pins, so if you want to search within what you've pinned in the past for these keywords, you can do that. Pinners, those are people that are pinning stuff to to Pinterest. So those would be individuals like you or businesses. And then boards are just boards that are named Brainerd Lakes area. And it also gives you the opportunity to follow different boards so that you can look for, excuse me, additional pins for that board. And it looks like we have a couple realtors on here. Okay. And then with the categories, I'm going to switch this back to all pins. So it's searching for all pins. With the categories, I can pull up different categories in the system. These are always changing and growing, so make sure you're searching by them often or looking into them often. So I can go into an architecture one if I want to. I can look at popular ones. The home feed, that's our dashboard that we were looking at before. So that's just the pins based on what searching you've done in the system. So I'm just going to click over to architecture and we can take a look at that. And then the great thing about these categories is that they have a lot of subcategories in them. So if you want to click on the subcategories, you can do so there. And then kind of narrow it down until you get to a pin that you like. And then again, you're just going to hover over it and say pin it to a certain board. All right. I am going to go back to our board really quick before we finish up our list of boards. And we can take a look at the pins again, and I'll show you how to remove pins from here. So if I click on a category, so I'm just going to click into that box. It's going to give me all the pins in that category, and I can edit the board if I want to. I can delete a board if I want to delete a board. And then if I go back here, it's going to give me a list of all my boards. I'm going to go into one where I have a pin in here. And maybe the information is a little bit outdated. You need to update the links, or if you want to kind of go a different route and remove some of the information, we can do that by just clicking into the category. And then say it's winter now and I don't necessarily want this repel mosquitoes link on here. If I hover over this box, there's going to be a little pencil icon that I can click on, and I can actually delete the pin from here. Now, it's not going to delete it completely from the system because somebody else originated this pin, but if I click the delete pin button, it's going to delete it from my Pinterest board. Okay, well, that's it for now. I will post this onto the GLAR website so you can take a look at the video on your own time. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at 218-828-4567. Or you can send me an email at marissa@greaterlakesrealtors.com. And I'll also try and post some resources here on our website below the video as well for additional information about Pinterest.